be tight when we wanted to, we made it difficult for teams when we wanted to, but we also had a flair team. We had a great goal scorer in terms of Kevin Hector, and we had a great player up there, John O'Hare, who could hold the ball. Alan Hinton on left wing, he's the best crosser, certainly that I've ever played with, and he could score goals as well. And you had, on the right side of midfield, we had a player called Alan Durbin who just used to flit in and out of the game at important times. He'd come up and he'd be on that back post and slide across from Alan into the goal. The balance between both of them was tremendous.
We had a squad of about 13, 14 players. So we were very close-knit, we were like a family group, and Brian used to take us away a lot to stay overnight at hotels, and you know, we lived in each other's pocket really. You know, we're so close because we used to see everybody every day, and you spent a lot of time with the players, probably more than you spent time with your wife and kids at the time.
Ian Moore. And he didn't get it! Far too casual a shot, and 5 minute anticipation from Colin Moore.
I'd like to think we won it because we were an outstanding soccer team, which we were. We were entertained, we had big crowds. Clough dominated the media, loved by all. Not many people outside of Derby County fans really liked him because they knew he was getting all the publicity off of everybody.
But how do you react though when someone from your playing staff comes in and says, boss, I think you're doing this wrongly?
Good, well I ask him which way he thinks it should be done, we get down to it, and then we talk about it for 20 minutes, and then we decide I was right.
It was just a one-off. That football was very simple, very basic. You did it his way or you never played, and the players were quite happy to do it that way. We gelled as 11 on the pitch. Now there might be some people you didn't particularly like, but for that 90 minutes you would have died for them, and that's where success comes from, allied with the skill that was already in the team.
Well, everybody knows the record what Brian had and Peter Taylor had at Derby, you know, bringing success to the club, and you know, we just loved him. You know, you can go through all the players, and we just loved him for what he was. I mean, he wasn't just a manager to us. He spent time on the training ground with us, which we loved. You know, I think if you can get a manager to come out training with you on the pitch, you're halfway there, and that's what he did every day. He was always on the pitch with us, and that's what was a lot down to the success what we had. He was with us all the time.
You couldn't relax for a minute because Taylor had come in with a story and Clough had turned it, and Pete Taylor be the good guy, bad guy, all this kind of stuff. There was never a dull moment, and if you played badly, then you heard about it.
You just beat me back onto the field by about 5 yards. If you'd have been bloody standing there when I got down, you'd have been over on the right wing.
Little touch off, Hector in, and he scores! Kevin Hector! 1-0 to Derby.
What I noticed more than anything else is the quality and the number of goals Kevin Hector scores for us. Kevin was the king, the supporters loved him. But when you look at those DVDs and you look at the quality in terms of his finishing and how he finished, it was tremendous.
He's done it up for Durban.
Other teams have still got games to play, but this is your final game, and one of the other contenders is Liverpool, and you beat them.
That really was a huge match. I mean, it had so much publicity. It was odd to be playing on a Monday night. It was an incredible match. It was so tight. It was untrue. And then suddenly John McGovern hits one as he's falling over, and it goes in the top corner. And suddenly we've got a chance of winning the league.
The Derby supporters after it said to me, you know, how come you were falling over when you hit that shot? And I said, well, the reason I was falling over was that the ball went to Alan Durbin as it was crossed across the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Now, Alan Durbin loved to get a goal and was quite good at getting a goal. But instead this time he actually threw a dummy to the Liverpool player by opening his legs and letting the ball run. And I was kind of falling over in amazement that he hadn't tried to hit the shot at goal. So it put me just half a step out. So I had to kind of like throw one leg forward and then falling over to reach it and catch it with my instep and try and keep it down, because obviously if you're leaning back, you're going to hit the ball 9 times out of 10 over the bar. But I caught it sweet as a nut, and obviously I could tell by the roar of the crowd that it had actually gone in.
And somebody looked as if they were going to come in and side-footed in the net to get the equaliser. And what I was doing back there, I don't know what the hell I was doing, but in the end of the day I got a toe to it and just nicked it off his foot. And but we had a nasty last 5 minutes, I remember that. Yeah. There was a few scrambles.
Well, our season had finished, obviously we're in Mallorca. Peter Taylor said to us one day, look, I want you all to come up to my room because I've got a telephone link, he said, to the mainland. Yeah, Arsenal and Liverpool drawn. He said, there's only the result coming through from, and then he went, the line's gone dead. The only way we knew the next morning when we were down by the pool, having an early beer just before lunch, was all of a sudden photographers and newspaper reporters just coming up to us in 2s, 3s, 4s, and of course they're telling us that, you know, we're the league champions. So quite an unusual way to be informed, but you know, enjoyable all the same.
It was an unforgettable feeling, and I only wish that, you know, everybody could have shared it with me and everybody in the world. It's an accumulation of things, Peter Taylor and I, plus a successful side, plus the right buys, everything, you know, the chemical reactions happened, and we've produced a side that's won a championship.
You know, those times, and we're going back a few years, in a sense, to the 70s, and they were a magical time, I think, for Derby itself, and I think the people who lived in Derby at that particular time would have enjoyed that particular period of their lives as well. You know, they'll remember that forever, as much as the players who participated.
Webster! Oh, yes! Again he had a chance for a shot. Turned! Oh, what a goal!